There are two fundamental things about trading that you've got to get right if you want to be successful. One is your mindset, and the other is your technique. Many of us get into trading without really properly preparing. It's a bit like going onto a racetrack in a Fiat 500 or going on a long journey without actually bothering to service your car. You need to prepare a bit because right from a very early age you've actually been gathering a lot of negative subconscious programming. There's positive programming as well, which is useful, helps you walk and drive and so on, but a lot of negative stuff that's beliefs and fears and ideas about yourself that you really need to sort out and clarify. They're things that you need to deal with and find a way to overcome or change before you can trade successfully. Your performance in trading really started when you were sitting in a stroller, because that's when you are taking on all the beliefs and fears and negative subconscious programming is building up that actually shapes the way you are now. So you have put a lot of barriers in your own way, or they've been put there by parents, your environment and everything around you. And you need to remove those to be able to trade with a positive mindset. You need to be able to change your subconscious programming for the better so that you can trade without it getting in your way, without it sabotaging your trades all the time. At Left Brain Trading, we have very positive mindset techniques that you can apply. They're not just affirmations or things to make you feel good. They're practical steps you can take to actually change a lot of that negative subconscious programming that's been dogging your trading or your life. People who've been trading for a while usually realise that the mindset is one of the most important parts of trading, and that if you're trying to trade with the wrong mindset, you're always going to get into trouble. But it's not good enough just to give yourself a few affirmations or hope that you can actually be positive. You have to actually take practical steps to change the subconscious programming that you have. Many traders read our book and then come back to it sometime afterwards, because there's a lot out there that looks very attractive, looks very interesting, looks very credible in terms of systems and techniques and people. We'd all prefer it if somebody could do it for us. We're a bit lazy that way. But actually, it's much better if you can do it for yourself. Then you don't have to rely on anybody else. Because when it comes down to it, when you press that button, you're on your own, and you know that. When it comes to technique, any trader will tell you that there are patterns that the currencies move to. A lot of people know that there are patterns within patterns that the currencies move to as well. But what I discovered was that there is a universal pattern behind the movements of the currencies that is consistent and consistently valid. The currencies move to these patterns all the time. They're fractal in nature, that is, they're patterns within patterns, and they're based on the Fibonacci. The Fibonacci was discovered hundreds of years ago, and it pervades our life, that and the golden ratio. I mean, it's in the bones in our fingers, it's in the proportions in our faces, it's in plants, it's everywhere. So it's no surprise that the currencies also obey the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio. The problem is that traditionally people have been applying a Fibonacci measurement onto candlesticks, onto historical movements, whereas in fact it's much more reliable to find the framework behind those movements, because the movements move to the framework. We use the Fibonacci in a completely different way. We say if you can apply a Fibonacci to a movement in currency, and it always gives you some useful information on the retracement, then there must be a framework behind the movements of the candlesticks that the candlesticks are moving to. And the absolute Fibonacci framework shows you that. It's a permanent framework, you only have to apply it once, and we have a MetaTrader 4 indicator that allows you to apply it automatically, and then you can just watch the currencies moving to this framework. And you can keep using any other method that you happen to be using. You can apply indicators, you can apply Bollinger Bands, you can apply systems, you can apply trend lines, all sorts of things. You will find after a while, though, that it becomes superfluous. Because what we have discovered is that most other methods are searching for this framework. They're searching for points on this framework that the currencies are moving to. But the framework can show you those automatically. It will also show you all the barriers that ever were and ever will be. And it'll allow you to assess how strong each of them is. So you will know if you're going to get a bounce or you're going to get an Elliott wave. One of the problems with traditional indicators is that they're lagging. They're based on previous information. The framework, on the other hand, can actually show you specific points that the currencies are going to move to. So that, to me, is very useful. And because it's so simple, it's very pleasant to use. Sometimes traders read this book and then come back to it after a while. Because after a while, they have to recognise that this is universally valid. There are two fundamental aspects to trading: your mindset and your technique. If you can find a technique that is simple, then why go for a complicated one? If you apply the mindset and technique aspects of left brain trading, you will find that not only your trading improves, but also your life, because you don't need to spend so many hours sitting tense in front of the computer hoping that trades are going to work. It gives you a certain amount of information that will allow you to know when your trades are going to work. So don't take the long way round. Go for something simple and go for something that is very powerful. Many of us spend a lot of time trying to find the perfect system. Well, with left brain trading, you realise that you are the perfect system. You just need a bit of a tune-up sometimes to get your system working properly. So left brain trading gives you an opportunity to tune up your existing perfect system, you, and then apply a very simple technique. There's no universal answer for everybody. We're all different. We all have different issues that we have to deal with. So some people will find they get enough information out of the book and the rest of the package that we're offering on this website, and others will want to take a course. We offer 2 courses. One is a class course in which you will be able to interact with other participants, and there is the one-on-one premium course in which you get very specialised personal attention. But with both courses, it's not just a case of doing a day and getting on a high and then we drop you. What we do is we do the day and then give you the opportunity to start trying out the techniques, working with your new mindset and working with your new technique. After 2 weeks we get back together again and we go through any difficulties that you may have come up with.